In the aftermath of their devastating loss to Thanos, the Avengers found themselves on the brink of despair. The Mad Titan had wiped out half of all life in the universe, leaving the remaining heroes with scars that ran deeper than the physical. Among them, Thor was the most broken. The weight of his perceived failure in their last battle hung heavily on him, and the god of thunder found himself drowning in a sea of guilt and regret. But now they had a second chance. The Avengers had managed to gather all the Infinity Stones, the powerful artifacts capable of bending reality itself. The plan was simple but dangerous: use the stones to reverse the snap, to bring back those they had lost. But the question remained, who would wield such power? And then Hulk spoke up. The green behemoth, a fusion of brute strength and Banner's intellect, knew he was their best chance. "I'm the strongest there is," he growled, his voice resolute. "If anyone can handle it, it's me." With a heavy heart, the others agreed. The makeshift gauntlet was placed on Hulk's massive hand, the Infinity Stones glowing ominously as they locked into place. As he prepared to snap his fingers, a wave of energy surged through him, more intense than anything he'd ever felt. His body, powerful as it was, began to buckle under the immense strain. His arm, once a symbol of unstoppable force, started to wither, the skin burning, the muscle tearing. Pain racked his body, but still, he held on. The Hulk, their last hope, gritted his teeth and summoned every ounce of strength within him. This was his moment, his sacrifice. The world held its breath as he slowly, deliberately, brought his fingers together. The echo of the snap reverberated through the compound, a moment suspended in time. For a brief, heart-stopping instant, nothing seemed to happen. The Avengers exchanged worried glances, the tension palpable. Did it work? Then, as if waking from a nightmare, the world began to stir. The faint chirping of birds filled the air, a sound that hadn't been heard in years. Phones started ringing with calls from loved ones thought lost forever. The heroes, still reeling from the enormity of what they'd just done, could hardly believe it. They had succeeded, half of all life had returned, but their victory was short-lived. He landed with a force that shook the earth, his gaze cold and unyielding. Without a word, Thanos unleashed a relentless onslaught, his army pouring through the portal behind him. The Avengers, though tired and battered, stood ready. This was the final battle, and they would not falter. High above them, the sky darkened as a portal tore open, and through it descended the most dreaded figure in the universe, Thanos. But this was not the defeated Thanos of their time, broken and resigned. No, this was Thanos at the height of his power, a warlord driven by ruthless conviction. He had learned of the Avengers' plan and traveled from the past to ensure it failed. Iron Man, his armor enhanced by the power of the stones, joined the fray, blasting Thanos with repulsor beams. But Thanos, with his unmatched strength, ripped through the attacks, advancing with unstoppable determination. Captain America, wielding Mjolnir in one hand and his shield in the other, fought valiantly, each strike echoing with the resolve of a man who would never give up. But even his unyielding spirit was met with the overwhelming power of the Mad Titan. As the battle raged on, it became clear that this was a fight unlike any other. Thanos, unburdened by the stones, fought with a primal savagery that threatened to tear the Avengers apart. But they fought on, each hero giving their all in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. In the midst of the chaos, Iron Man realized what had to be done. With a knowing glance at Doctor Strange, who subtly signaled that this was the one chance out of millions, Tony Stark made the ultimate decision. He would sacrifice everything to end this. Tony, battered and bruised, approached Thanos, his eyes blazing with resolve. The Titan, confident in his victory, barely noticed as Stark subtly transferred the Infinity Stones from the gauntlet to his own suit. But when he did, it was too late. Thanos' face twisted in shock as Tony, now holding the ultimate power in his grasp, whispered the words that would define his legacy. "I am Iron Man." With a snap of his fingers, the battlefield erupted in a blinding light. The stones, drawing on the life force of their wielder, unleashed their power with devastating effect. Thanos and his army began to disintegrate, their forms turning to ash, vanishing into nothingness. But the cost was too great. As the dust settled, Tony Stark, the man who had always relied on his wit and armor to survive, now lay on the ground mortally wounded. The energy of the stones had taken its toll, and even the genius of Stark couldn't withstand it. As Tony Stark took his last breath, the world knew that they had lost a hero, but gained a future. The battle was won, but the price was high. The Avengers, victorious but forever changed, stood together one last time, honoring the man who had made the ultimate sacrifice.